This prank totally blew up in my face and I can't believe how it crushed her ego. We've all been there, feeling ignored or brushed aside by someone we care about or are interested in. It's a painful experience that can stir up emotions like frustration, anger, and even resentment. But how we respond to being ignored speaks volumes about our character and self-worth. The phrase might seem like an empowering idea on the surface, but I want to challenge that perspective. Instead of focusing on bruising someone else's ego, let's talk about how to shift the focus inward, to strengthen yourself, rather than bring someone else down. First, let's ask ourselves, why do we feel the need to crush anyone's ego? Often, it's because our own ego feels wounded. When someone ignores us, it can trigger feelings of rejection or insecurity, causing us to want to regain control by hurting them in return. But the truth is, retaliating doesn't make us stronger. It only reinforces the cycle of pain and negativity. The real strength lies in overcoming that urge and finding peace within yourself. The best way to handle being ignored is to. When someone ignores you, they are trying to take away your sense of importance. It can feel isolating and hurtful, making you question your own value. But you are the only one who can decide your worth. Your self-esteem should not be dictated by someone else's actions or inactions. Instead of focusing on crushing someone else's ego, focus on elevating your own self-esteem. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself, whether it's reading a book, going for a jog, or practicing a hobby you love. Remind yourself that your value is not determined by someone else's attention or validation. Write down your achievements and positive qualities in a journal to reinforce your self-worth. What's important to understand is that ignoring someone can be a form of manipulation or emotional control. It's a tactic used to make you feel powerless and dependent on their approval. If someone is ignoring you intentionally to make you feel small or insecure, that's a red flag in itself. Recognize this behavior for what it is, and don't let it undermine your confidence. Responding with similar tactics like trying to bruise their ego only lowers you to the same level. It perpetuates a cycle of negativity and doesn't solve the underlying issue. Instead, rise above the games. Focus on your own growth and well-being. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Don't play into their power dynamics. Walk away with dignity. By doing so, you reclaim your power and show that your self-worth is not dependent on anyone else's behavior. Another way to approach the situation is to reflect on why you feel hurt. Take a moment to sit with your feelings and understand their root cause. Often we tie our self-worth to how others treat us. This can be a dangerous habit because it places our happiness in the hands of others. If someone ignores you and it deeply affects you, it's an opportunity for introspection. Reflect on past experiences and patterns that might be influencing your current emotions. Ask yourself, why does their attention matter so much to me? Is it because of a past hurt or a need for validation? Once you understand this, you can start focusing on fulfilling those needs from within, rather than seeking validation externally. Building self-worth from within is a powerful tool for emotional resilience. If someone ignores you, remember that your time and energy are valuable. You deserve to be around people who appreciate you. Why waste time on someone who doesn't appreciate or acknowledge you? Life is too short to spend it seeking approval from those who don't see your worth. Instead of trying to crush her ego, use this as an opportunity to redirect your focus toward people and activities that uplift and energize you. Engage in hobbies that bring you joy and connect with friends who support you. Surround yourself with those who value and respect your presence. Building a supportive community can greatly enhance your sense of belonging and self-worth. It's also essential to practice emotional maturity in these situations. Emotional maturity is a skill that takes time and conscious effort to develop, but it is incredibly rewarding. It allows you to navigate through life's challenges with grace and poise. Emotional maturity is not about responding with coldness or indifference. It's about being able to understand and manage your emotions, even in the face of adversity. It means being able to empathize with others while maintaining your own emotional balance. It's about recognizing when someone's behavior doesn't serve you and having the strength to move on without bitterness. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. Rather, you acknowledge them and choose a healthier path forward. The best way to teach someone a lesson is not through revenge, but through growth and resilience. By focusing on your own personal development, you set an example for others. You show that true strength comes from within. When you rise above being ignored, you show that your self-worth is unshakable. You demonstrate that your value is not dependent on someone else's recognition or approval. Instead of feeding into a battle of egos, you show that you're confident enough not to be dragged down by someone else's immaturity. This kind of self-assuredness is a testament to your emotional maturity. This, in itself, is a powerful lesson for the other person. One that doesn't require you to bruise anyone's ego but simply by standing tall in your own strength. Your calm and composed demeanor can inspire others to reflect on their own behavior. At times, the best revenge is no revenge at all. Just living your life fully and joyfully without being tethered to someone else's behavior. By focusing on your own happiness and well-being, you free yourself from the negative influence of others. If someone ignores you and you choose not to retaliate but to thrive, you send a powerful message. You show that your happiness is self-generated and not reliant on external validation. You are showing that their actions do not control your happiness, your decisions, or your peace of mind. By maintaining your inner peace, you become a beacon of strength and resilience, inspiring others to do the same. However, it's important to note that healthy confrontation can also be a way of dealing with the situation. If someone close to you is ignoring you, it's okay to communicate openly. Ask for clarity. Sometimes people ignore others due to misunderstandings or unresolved issues. By addressing it head-on, you can gain closure or resolve the situation with mutual respect. But remember, you can only control your actions, not how others will respond. If the person continues to ignore you after you've communicated, then the best move is to detach gracefully. Don't waste energy on trying to change someone who doesn't want to engage. Respect yourself enough to walk away from those who don't see your worth. In the end, you don't need to crush her ego to prove anything. Your self-worth is independent of how anyone else treats you. If someone ignores you, let it be their loss, not your burden. By focusing on your growth, self-love, and emotional maturity, you not only rise above the situation, but you also become stronger, wiser, and more centered in your own value. Ultimately, the lesson is not about bringing others down to feel powerful. It's about elevating yourself in the face of rejection or indifference. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you'll realize that no one's attention, or lack thereof, can take away your worth.